TDS has been on fire lately, with new towers, modes, and changes constantly being pushed out. It seems like the game is great, but is it really? Today I gathered several TDS Youtubers, ranging from a few thousand subscribers, up to quite literally John Roblox. I'll be asking all of them these 5 questions, and we'll actually get to see some very unique opinions on the game. Without further ado, hop into full screen, like, subscribe, don't forget to use star code E, and let's go see what all of them have to say. Our first YouTuber is Wither. He only has a few thousand subscribers, but what makes him so special is that he is the best player in TDS. I've made a whole video on that, so you can go check it out, but no more talking, let's get to the questions. Hi. First question, when did you join TDS?
I joined in like 2019 during the alpha stage of the game.
Alpha, so right off the bat as well.
Yeah, during like June.
Wait, well, I don't remember the month, but yeah, that's right away. So, would you say TDS is a fun game, and if so, what makes it fun?
I'd say it's pretty fun if you never played tower defense before, but I guess when you have more knowledge of the whole genre, it does get kind of boring.
What makes it fun though for like a new player, what would you say?
Like the simplicity, I guess.
Okay, I guess that's fair enough. What about TDS's biggest problems? What would you say those are?
The biggest problem I would say is the late game content, because it kind of lacks anything hard, which maybe the challenge maps will fix, but I don't know.
I mean, do you think they're gonna be hard enough? Because you've done everything right, so the challenge maps are probably based around somebody that's not level 700 and done every hardest thing in the game.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna be, but the thing is that the difficulty can also get kind of diminished from the power creep the game has currently.
That's another problem.
Yeah.
But the biggest one you say is the late game content.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were in charge of the next update, what would you add?
Probably I would make the beginner grinding faster, because right now you just play easy mode, then molten / intermediate, then just grind pizza party 24/7. It's not really that fun.
Pizza party?
Yeah.
How would you make the early grind better?
I'd do something like TDX did, and make it so you get more rewards for each new map that you complete.
Okay, I mean, because most people only need to play on a couple different maps.
Yeah.
So that's all then, regarding that, at least, question?
After that, I guess modifiers, which I guess those are gonna be like the challenge maps.
Modifiers like the ones in Polluted Wastelands and Badlands, or what?
Yeah, something similar to that, but like you could add the extra HP, faster speed, etc.
Oh, to every map.
Yeah.
Well, then the final question. This is quick. Opinions on TDS as of now?
As of right now, I would say it's kind of stale. There's also a problem that I think the game tries to be too much of a casual game, because pretty much all the new features care towards more casual players, like consumables and all the new towers.
Yeah, they definitely are. The game is so easy. Okay, that'll be it then. Thank you for joining, Wither.
No problem.
Our next interview is going to be with Photon. He has over 20,000 subscribers, and he also happens to be a moderator for TDS. Let's go see what he has to say. Hello, Photon.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So question 1, when did you join TDS?
Right, so I joined TDS in 2019 when there was the Gladiator event, but I didn't really get to TDS that much. Just joined in and then leave after playing it for a while.
Okay, fair enough. Now, would you say TDS is a fun game? Like, what makes it fun?
Well, if you're asking the current situation, not really. Yeah, it's not that fun compared to before, because yeah, you know the current state of TDS right now, it's so buggy as hell. At that point, I basically stopped playing this game for a while, and I just come back when there's some news or whatever, trying new feature out.
So, like, but what makes TDS fun, or like, what made it fun?
So what made it fun is that first thing, TDS is actually a really coordinative strategy game back in the day. So like the dynamic where you can play with other player, like working together with other player is really good, especially when hidden wave exists. And well, right now there's no such thing as hidden wave anymore.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. What are TDS's biggest problems?
Currently, it's bug, of course. Especially the current game development is really screwed up, especially because of the classic and the hunt event. So basically, what happened is that the classic and the hunt is actually endorsed by Roblox, as you may know. But that's also a problem because for QA tester, they are not able to test because Roblox does not want to the hunt or the classic event to get leaked to the public before it's released. Also, another thing, they need to do something about the current bug right now before they just overwhelm themselves with work.
So the biggest problem is bugs, right? That's what you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
currently.
My next question is, if you were to in charge of the next update, what would you update? Like, what would you add?
So other than fixing the bugs, it would be making the quality of life better. This is just my personal opinion though. It's just the surround sound in TDS right now. I feel like it's annoying. I think there should like an option to make it mono in the settings or something. This is also another personal. Actually, no. I think it's just really annoying that for someone like me who is a moderator, I have a perk and somehow they ignore the bug that I've been having with my perks, which is War Machine. So basically, I cannot use my War Machine. One more thing I wanna add is make the GUI scaling can be increased and decreased also. So I feel like the loadout GUI is kind of small right now. Like it's hard for me to click on it. So yeah,
Okay.
that's some of the feature I want to add, and also bugs that I feel like it's just too annoying.
Okay, well, the last question was going to be asking your opinions on TDS, but I think you've already said everything.
Yeah, I said everything basically.
So that's all then?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you, Photon. Now, I wanted this video to include as many opinions as possible, so how about we include one from a different part of the world? Dogblocks is a Spanish YouTuber, and because he doesn't have great English, I typed out the questions, and this is some of the opinions he gave from literally a completely different community than the one we know here. Dogblocks joined in 2020 due to the Egg Hunt event. He says the game is really fun due to the multiplayer aspect, and the fact that you can reach an end after getting everything and not having to grind forever. He had a long list of problems, and I'm going to summarize them like this. The first one was that there's a bunch of tower rebalances. He says they keep ruining strategies, but he acknowledges they're important. He also says engineer's too expensive for what it does, hardcore, too grindy and difficult, forcing people to use strategies. He says there's a lot of bugs. He says the lobby is too big, which causes lag. And he just says in general the game needs a little more optimization. For question 4, he said he'd add an adventure mode where towers are unlocked in order so you can't skip from one to another, and presumably the difficulty gets harder and harder as you get better stuff, so there's no running out of a challenge. And for the final question, he thinks that TDS is the best tower defense game on Roblox, well optimized and creative. He says it's on the right track, and he says hi to everybody watching this video. Hopefully this opinion gives you even more insight onto what people think about TDS, but without further ado, it's time to move on to our first big creator, Corso. I don't think I need to introduce you to Corso, so let's go see what he has to say about TDS.
It's good, bro.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, we can hear each other. You got your loadout?
Yeah, it's just random loadout.
Question number 1. When did you join TDS?
I started playing TDS back in 2019 when the Gladiator event came out, so a little bit before that, and I couldn't beat it because I sucked at the game.
So the very, very start of TDS, you were there.
Yeah, so pretty OG.
How close was this to Alpha?
I don't know. I just know that I started playing, like I remember the Gladiator event being added, like while I was playing, but it was pretty much around that time.
Okay, so is TDS a fun game? And if so, what makes it fun?
Yeah, I think it's a fun game. I enjoy it. But like once you've gotten all the towers and you've beaten like the hard game modes, like maybe you've sold in hardcore mode or something, there's not an awful lot to do. Like I feel like if they added back PvP mode, there'd be a lot more like replayability, but it's kind of just the same thing over and over, unless you just like do like self-imposed challenges.
Okay, but like just in general, for most players, is it a fun game, would you say?
I'd say it's a fun game.
And why?
I would say it's because it's like it works really well playing with other people. Because I'd say as a problem with like Bloons tower defense, for example, it kind of sucks playing with other people in the game because the connection sucks. But in this game, like it's really easy to play with others. And it's not even just that, it's easier when playing with others, so it's like encouraged. So it's a fun thing to do with friends.
Okay. Yeah, that I actually can see that. Anything else, or you want to move on to the next question?
Sometimes there's like strategy involved if there's like so hardcore or something, but yeah, for the most part it's pretty easy game, so I don't think that's too much of an aspect.
3. What are TDS's biggest problems?
Biggest problems is how insanely long it takes to get like all the golden skins and towers, because like I'm doing a beginner's guide right now, and I calculated how many like coins and hours it would take using the fastest strategy, and it would be, I think it was 76 hours to get every golden skin and coin costing tower, and that's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, I didn't even get all of them legit. Like I ended up buying the golden scout with just money because I got too lazy.
You like pay to win?
Yeah, I pay to win it, and that's definitely a problem.
Yeah, it's something that like a lot of people forget once they're really high level, because you have everything, but getting to that point is insane.
Yeah, I've seen like sweats considering pursuit to be NST, and I don't think they realize how long it takes to get to level 100. So it's a really grindy game. And then also there's been a lot of like power creep, I guess. So game modes have gotten really easy. You can just get some overpowered towers like the Brawler and Excel and just win every game.
So you call Brawler like straight up overpowered?
Yeah, oh, it's definitely overpowered.
Okay, so the biggest, what is the one single biggest problem? Do you think you can name one?
Yeah, it would definitely be the grind, like how hard it is to get every single tower. I wouldn't say like, because like, I mean, tower defense biggest problem is gambling, but I don't think there's any like scummy issue with TDS. It's just too grindy.
Okay, but isn't a grind kind of healthy because you can play longer? There's more things to do.
Okay, it's definitely good for the game in terms of like keeping players on, but like I don't think anybody wants to spend 76 hours of playing just to get different golden skins. And also, another thing about golden skins is I don't think golden skins are a good mechanic. Like the base tower either has to suck and then the golden tower is balanced, or the base tower is like good but then the golden skin's overpowered. So it just fundamentally doesn't work in my opinion.
So would it be like the Pyro, for example, the old Pyro? The golden Pyro, not like very old, but how it was like by far the best crowd control tower, and then they nerfed the Pierce?
Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. Like, either you have the Pyromancer and Golden Pyro both good, but then the Golden Pyromancer is overpowered, or you make the Golden Pyromancer not worth getting. So it kind of is just it's a bad situation. That's why I think the evolved tower concept they had will be way better.
You just have a completely new tower, like for...
Yeah, like the thing where they had like, I don't think they're ever going to add this, but like, remember the evolved tower leak they had?
Yeah.
A long time ago? Like, if they ever actually did that, that would be way better, because then it would be like, because then you could balance them without making one of them worse.
TDX has like, you know, the golden stuff as a separate tower. It's not like a skin for the existing tower.
Yeah, but those towers are still overpowered. The Golden Juggernaut is crazy.
Okay. Next question?
Yeah, sure.
If you were in charge of the next update, what would you add?
Okay. First of all, well, they're probably still working on it, but I want PvP back because it's really fun. I don't care if it's not like finished. I would rather have like a little beta this year all the time because I had a lot of fun playing it. I'd want to play it right now. Other than that, one thing I really miss is mega lobbies. Just like being able to play with a bunch of people would be so much fun, especially because I want to play with my subscribers sometimes. And right now I can only play with 3 other of them at the same time unless they use like a bug. And I kind of want to just have like a crazy game with 20 people.
Oh, so like you want super mega servers. You'd add those kinds of things in?
Massive servers, like, and then with like imagine if you had like 20 people and then like the final boss had like 20 million health and you like all had to lock in to kill it. 20
million. Considering Nuclear Monster has 1.5 mil, I don't think that's an over
Well, it's
exaggeration.
like 20 people, man.
Your game would crash.
And then maybe oh my goodness, sandbox mode, most definitely. Like a game mode where you can just hop in, have infinite cash, and just place down like any tower or spawn any enemy. Because that would make like testing towers so much easier. And personally, as a content creator, there's so many times where I'm like making a video and I need like a 5-second clip. But then if I want to get that, I have to go into like a 30-minute game just for that little clip. So a sandbox mode would be super nice.
Or you have to ask like an admin to spawn you the stuff.
Yeah. And like an average player is not going to have that. Not even like the average YouTuber.
Last question is just opinions on TDS as of now.
A lot of bugs right now, but I think they're doing pretty good. They're adding a lot of updates. There's a lot of cool towers in the game. I'd say it's probably like the best tower defense game on Roblox right now. Like out of all the options, because I mean, its competition is like TDX, I'd say, in terms of like highest quality. I haven't played Tower Heroes and stuff. They might be good, but I feel like TDS just has a really high standard of quality. Like the animations are all amazing. Like the brawler is an awesome tower. It's just kind of broken. Like there's just a lot to do, you know. And I also like I think they've been cooking with the updates, even though they're really buggy. But like the power ups update, even though they're kind of not balanced that well, because some of the power ups suck and some of them were overpowered. I think it was like a pretty big update for being a weekly thing.
Oh yeah, well, most updates are weekly. I don't know. I'm missing the really big updates, like the events.
Yeah, that's true. Well, like when they dropped hardcore, and it was like a whole thing.
Yeah, that didn't exactly go right.
If it went right, like the idea is there. I honestly wish that they would stop with the weekly updates and go back to bi-weekly because I feel like they can't keep up. Like there's so many bugs. Like how many bugs is there right now? I think someone made a list of 50 bugs.
I
It's
don't,
insane.
I don't have the stats on that, but 50 is a lot.
Yeah, like it's pretty bad right now. I don't know if they fixed those towers yet, but like I heard the Warden and Ace pilot are still bugged.
No, they're getting reworked. Yeah. All right. So is that all?
Yeah, say that's all.
Okay. Thank you for joining, Corso.
All right, no problem.
Definitely some things to agree on there, but we're not quite done. We've still got 3 more YouTubers over 200,000 subscribers. And of course that includes John Roblox. But before we get to that, let's ask the developer. Bear is the lead programmer and he made this very simple. He never said when he joined, but I remember him talking about playing Frost Invasion, so presumably it's around 2020. The biggest problems, he says, are bugs and that there is too much filler content. For question 4 that asks what he would add, he just admits that he's already been in charge of updates, but he would want to add more game modes that change the game as an entirety like PvP. And finally, as for his opinion, he says that it's a lot better than it was, there's more content and game modes that are being added, and updates are coming out much more frequently, weekly and monthly, instead of half a year. So now knowing what one of the main developers thinks about the game, it's time to move on to one of our first supermassive YouTubers, Propellars. I'm also assume that you've already seen this guy, so let's go see what he has to say.
Oh, hello. Is this
That microphone is not cooking.
for you? Wait, hold up.
Oh, that's better. I got 5
Here's-
questions for you.
So this is gonna be like you're gonna record this, or are you gonna like summarize what people say, or are you gonna like put the voice recording of them saying what they're saying?
I'm gonna put the voice recording. I'm gonna put like the main parts because I mean people are gonna have a lot to say. Okay, first question. When did you join TDS?
That would have been like 2020, back when they first released their egg hunt event with Roblox, the classic.
And like, did you play a bunch starting like right off the bat?
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of grinding with some friends at the time. We all wanted to 100% the egg hunt, and then we started getting into TDS heavy, and then we just grinded that for a while.
Now, is TDS a fun game? And if so, what makes it fun?
That's an interesting question. I'd say TDS is fun. Maybe, I don't know. I was never like big into tower defense games, so kind of the novelty of it being a tower defense game was cool to me when I first got into it. Like, oh my goodness, these little dudes are gonna attack for me. I don't have to do anything. That's fun.
So it's a unique game. Is it the first time you've played a tower defense?
Yeah, I was never like a tower defense gamer.
Okay, but what makes the game fun?
I don't know. It's hard to summarize, I guess. It's a lot of things. I don't know. The towers, I guess. It's just fun seeing the towers. They're all very polished. They have these cool animations. They have the fun abilities. You can do a lot of different stuff with them, like the abilities, the micro.
How about this next question? What are TDS's biggest problems?
Okay, low-key, bit of a hot take. Maybe the community. I think the TDS community has some bad stuff in it.
Are you gonna name it?
Not like anyone specifically, I just think in general, like, a very young community kind of leads to a lot of, I don't know, toxicity, and like, with updates especially, you know, people are spamming the Discord, the update's delayed, or the update sucks for literally every update. Like, the game itself has a lot of problems, but every game has problems, you know, and I don't know, sometimes the community just really goes a bit too far, in my opinion.
So, like, when people complain about delays, you don't think that's right?
Well, I mean, there's definitely some, like, justified times to complain. The devs, like, have made a lot of mistakes, you know, like, with that whole roadmap thing they posted in, like, end of 2023, and then it took, like, half a year, whatever. But they're definitely, like, people who don't know how to, I don't know, a lot of kids in the community who, like, instead of, like, describing why something is bad or, like, offering constructive criticism, I just, like, freak out and start attacking developers and stuff. It's just, lame.
Okay, no, I can agree that that's not exactly a healthy kind of thing to do. The developers, they're not going to be motivated by angry people. Well, The point of the question was like asking in terms of the game, though. What would you say in the game are the biggest problems? Because I get the community. That's interesting because I doubt anyone else is going to say that. Like in game, what are the biggest problems?
Honestly, like, I don't know. I think the game's generally pretty solid in terms of the design, like the maps, the progression. I think the one, like, notable weak area is probably hardcore, just like everything involving the mode is really outdated. Like, the maps especially, like, I know they're gonna add the statue soon to fix that, but I was trying to play hardcore the other day, and I literally waited 10 minutes and 44 seconds to get the right map, which is just, like, objectively very bad game design. That you have to wait that long for the one map you need. I don't know. That's like the one area that sticks out to me as actively bad.
Okay, so, and nothing else. Because, I mean, that's about to get fixed. So just in case there's anything else bothering you that you want to mention now.
I mean, like, you could say the progression is a bit too slow, but at the same time, like, that's such an ingrained part of the game that you can't really change that, or it would, like if you made things easier to get, it would, hurt the value for the towers, like high-level towers if people already got them, and then they became way easier to get, you know? So maybe that, but you can't really change it.
Okay, yeah, that's, I can see where you come from on most of that stuff. Next question. If you were in charge of the next update, what would you add?
Okay. Hold up. Dream TDS update, that is very unrealistic and will never happen, but like a custom challenge maker. I think like BTD6 has something like that.
They do.
But some kind of little thing where people could make their own challenges with custom money or custom towers allowed and custom enemies. Like, that would be a gold mine of content. I think that'd be really cool, but again, not very realistic.
You said custom towers? What do you mean by that? Like, or is you just like an example?
I was kind of just thinking like in Bloons, how sometimes I think they have like certain levels aren't allowed. Like you can't get I don't know, a helicopter to top path tier 5. They block it off. I don't know if that's a thing. I think it is.
It is for challenges.
I didn't mean like full on custom made towers. I just meant that.
Okay, so that's what you would add if you were in charge of an update.
If hypothetically I could add anything and it would just magically appear, yeah.
Okay. Now I can imagine that is like free content. Who doesn't love free content? Well, there's only one more question, and it's just opinions on TDS in general as a whole right now.
I think this is a pretty good year for TDS. I think what's notable is instead of just like sustaining what the game is currently, like they've done in the past, but I mean like just making more towers, making more events, not really doing much else. Now they're trying some new features, they're trying some new stuff, which doesn't always work, but definitely adds more dimension to the game. Like with the power-ups, that was a pretty big thing. That changes the way the game is played in a lot of ways. You also have like the mission quests, that's a smaller thing, but you know, the mission quests and the regular quests, just extra incentives to grind in a certain way. And PvP, obviously, very big. That adds a lot more depth to the gameplay. There's also that leak of like the upcoming jailing towers or whatever. Like, it seems like they're just willing to do a lot more interesting stuff and like add more dimension to the gameplay, which I think is a good sign for the future.
So, your opinions on TDS as of right now is that it's going in a good direction.
Yeah, I think it's looking up. I think it's looking solid.
That is definitely exciting because I mean, for the last while there haven't been too many big updates. It was like it's smaller updates, but they had weekly. It's like a new tower, but Trapper, for example, wasn't. I don't know. It didn't feel like a big update, even though it's a whole new tower for the first time in a long time. All right, you've just been in easy mode. How do you feel?
First time in my life. Let's go. Let's go. Big dub.
Agreed. Okay, thank you for joining.
Yeah, no problem.
That's all. See ya. Our next YouTuber and everybody's favorite is me. I feel like it would only be fair for me to provide my own opinions, so let me make this quick for you. I joined TDS in 2019 during the Gladiator event, but I never got it because it was too hard. For whether TDS is a fun game or not, I say it definitely is. It's a really beginner-friendly tower defense game, so it's super easy to get hooked onto it, because most beginner players that play like crap are still able to win and feel accomplished. And also the fact that you can grind for years, that just gives you something to do all the time. But when it comes to question 3, TDS's biggest problems, I'm going to have to say something similar to what Bear said, the filler content. The new towers and skins that they're adding, it's all cool, but it ultimately makes no impact on the way the game is played. The towers are stuff we've already seen before, just stronger. And what we most definitely need is stuff like PvP, or even an adventure mode where you can progress through it and the challenge keeps increasing so you never really get bored. And if I was in charge of the next update, that's exactly what I would add. That's easy. 2 birds with 1 stone in those 2 questions. And for question 5, opinions on TDS as of now, I want to say it's boring. That probably is because I've already done everything, and the fact that the game just keeps getting easier and easier. Those are just some of the things I think. And as for TDS's future, I'm pretty excited, honestly. After hearing Bear say that he wants less filler content himself and he's one of the main devs, that definitely means we could be seeing some interesting things coming up pretty soon. That'd be about it. Now, it's time for the biggest TDS content creator of all time, Markiplier. I'm obviously kidding. It's John Roblox. Now, John has stopped making Tower Defense Simulator videos because he's made his own game, TDX. I still decided to ask him, and this is what he had to say. That should probably tell you enough. He's not a big fan of the game. Thank you for watching, boys. Let me remind you, like, subscribe, use StarCode, and most importantly, comment your answers to those 5 questions below in the comments. I want to see what people have to say. By the way, I forgot my game with the Gripted, so if he comments below, I'll pin it. See ya.